All right, guys, one of the first things I want to talk about today is about Trello. It's one of my favorite project management applications, and I'll show you in a second why I like it so much. So let's just go to Trello.com. If you've never seen Trello before, it pretty much looks a little bit like this. It's just a board where you can put tasks, project phases, what people are working on. You can set due dates, create checklists, assign tasks to people. And you can do a lot of things with Trello. And it's very, very easy to use, very intuitive. You don't need really much training to actually start using it. You just have to give it a go, and you'll see that it's very much pretty self-explanatory. But aside from that, one of the other great things about Trello is that it's free. And there's no limit in the number of users that you can have working on a project there. There's no limit of the number of projects you can put there in your Trello. So that's one of the things I really like about it, that it's free, easy to use, unlimited users, unlimited projects. And there is a paid version which has more advanced functionality, but I found that the free version works pretty well. So give the free version a go, and if you feel you do need something else or more advanced functionality, pay for the paid version. But like I said, I've never really had to use the paid version. With the free version, it's always been more than enough. And I'll show you about it in just a second, and I'll walk you through the whole process so you can see how you log in, how you register, how you set up your project, how you set up your tasks, everything, how you do it. All right. Before I do that, I just want to look at a video of Trello to give you just a quick introduction about it. So let's go to YouTube. And let's search here for Trello. And you can see a lot of videos here about Trello, like I said before, so just give it a go and explore some of them. I have looked at a couple of already, so I'm going to go over this one, which I really like because it's very short, very simple, and explain pretty much what you do with Trello. So let's go here with this one, Trello, a quick overview. I like the music, eh? Good music. I enjoy this music. Hope you do too. Let's move it into party mode. You can see it right there how awesome Trello is. It's just really awesome. It even has a mobile application, by the way, which is also free to use. All right, so now that I got you really excited about Trello, let me show you how it actually works in the real world. So let's go here, and I'm going to do it from scratch just to show you how it works. So I'm going to sign up for free, and I'm going to put in my name here, Mauricio Rubio, and online demo d@gmail.com. I'm going to set up my password. And yes, I'm going to accept the terms of service and privacy, and I'm going to create my free Trello account. So I'll create now. Bam, that's it. Really fast. I'm in already, right? They've sent me an email to my inbox, of course, just to double check that this is actually a genuine email and so that they verify my account. We can do that just in a second as well. Let's go to Gmail, online demo D. That's right. So let's go into our account. Right there, Trello account confirmation. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to say yes, verify my email address. So that's it. I'm now verified. I'm going to close this other one, which is the one we were seeing before I was verified. And I'm going to close YouTube as well. I'm going to leave the Gmail open right there. And let's go here to welcome board. All right. So like I said before, Trello is very, very easy to use and you can do a lot of things with it. So let's just go here to create a board, and I'm going to call this project example 1. All right. So it's a first project example. Right. So this is a project, right? So what can I do now that I'm here? Well, you can use Trello in a lot of different ways, and I'm going to walk you through some different examples to give you a sense for it. Let's say you want to keep it really simple and go with an agile approach to the project. So you can just create probably 3 main lists: to do, doing, done. That's it. Let's actually add 2 more. Let's say QA, quality assurance, and I'm going to put that before we actually mark it done. And another one I'm going to create here is something I like to call parking lot. So out of scope for ideas. And this one is really used for stakeholder management, because a lot of times when you're working with stakeholders or different people on a project, they might start, throwing at you a lot of ideas, and you don't have the money for it, you don't have the time for it, and you don't have the resources for it. But if you don't listen to them, well, people will feel that you're not really paying attention. They'll disengage very quickly, and it's just not a good practice. So you actually have to listen to them, but it doesn't mean you have to do everything they tell you to do or everything they want you to do. Because even though you might want to help them, like I said before, there might not be enough money in the budget, or it's just something that is completely out of scope. So if something, someone comes up with this crazy idea, I want to go to the moon, and we can't really accomplish that in project, I'll just put it here as a task that we'll review later. I want to go to the moon. All right. So you can say to whoever came up with that idea, we'll look at how we can get to the moon later. It's not right now in the project scope, but I'm going to take note of that, and we'll have visibility right here in your Trello. And this is just an example, like I was saying, of how you can manage a project in Trello, and I'll walk you through some other ones. So let's just continue with this one. So like I said, to do, doing, QA, done. And this is what we call in Agile a Kanban board. So you can put here your user stories. In Agile, we would say a user story is kind of like a task, but you say, as a role, I need to do blah, so that blah, right? So for example, as a project manager, I need to create the project schedule so that we can confirm all the tasks that need to be done in the project. That's a mouthful, right? It's really long. So in general, you're going to notice that people that work in Agile don't really follow the full template of a user story, and they just write it down as a task. And what I normally recommend people working on projects is that they keep it really short, because, people don't want to read these long things, and that they just put it in verb tense. So you should start, because it's actually an action, right? We want to control what people are doing or what we are doing ourselves. So it should start with a verb, because a verb denotes action, right? So let's say here we were talking about a schedule. So create project schedule, right? I also need to create the project budget, right? I don't know, let's say this is an application and we're working on some mockups, right? So we can put here, develop initial design for the app, right? And I don't know, create alpha image. Let's edit that because I forgot the E. All right. It's really easy, as you can see, really, really quick. And if you go to each of these, for example, create project schedule, I'm going to assign that to myself. So I'm going to say Mauricio is going to be working on that task. I'll put him on that. And I'm also going to say he needs to finish this by next week on Tuesday, and save. So here's the due date already there. And I can create a label and I can say, this is part of the planning phase of the project. So I'm going to say this is planning and done. And I'm going to mark that planning phase with blue. Let's put it with yellow. I'm going to put it with yellow, create, done. So now I know this is part of the planning phase of the project. I know Mauricio is working on it. I know when he needs to complete it. And I can add some notes for myself, or other people can add notes here, right? It's kind of like a social media feed, where different people can join the conversation. So I can put here, for example, a note for myself, include 2 weeks for detailed planning in project schedule, right? And done. And I can leave the comment there. I can even edit it. I can delete it. It's really awesome. I love this tool. Like I said, it's really easy to use. It's really intuitive. I don't have any other people in the project yet, but if I had other people invited to the project, I could just select them from here. And how do you invite other people? Well, if you recall, there was this menu that I hid. So if I unhide it, I can set here add members, and then I can just add their email address and send them an invite. And because Trello is free, they don't need to pay anything. They can start using it. And there's a lot of other things here. You can see, the latest activity of everyone that's working on the project. And so, like I said, Trello is really awesome. I really recommend it. I've used it on multiple projects. I'm not going to say you need to use this for every project, but it's a really good tool. It's a free tool. And for being a free tool, it's just really powerful. And let's say this is it's something I'm working right now, and so I just put it here. If it's under QA, I sent it to my manager for him to review. So I can put it then QA, a few days later, I'll just go here, and this is now under, I can add a note for myself or for anyone in the team to look at the review with management. They're looking at the project schedule, and they're going to tell us in a few days if it's approved. And when they approve it, I can just say done, we finished the project schedule. And let's say the budget, this is also part of planning, but you could create more labels as well. Like I was saying, let's say we want to create another label, create a new label, and we're going to say, this is part of implementation. And we're going to mark that with this red color here, right? Done. Actually, the create a project this one is not part of implementation, so I'm going to take it out. This is not part of implementation. Create a project budget. That's the planning phase. But let's say this create alpha image is part of implementation, so I can add the label here. And that's pretty much it. But check out this really cool feature about this as well. You can go here and you can filter what people are working on. And I want to filter by the planning phase. So I can see which tasks are part of planning. Or I could filter by, let's remove this one and let's filter by Mauricio. What's he doing? So he's working on one task. That's a very, very basic example. Like I said, you can add a lot of other things. I'm going to remove the filter. See all the tasks. I'm not going to put here a lot of other tasks, but you get the idea. You get the picture. So I'm going to go here to my main board, Trello, and I'm going to create another project. Not a team, but another project. You can separate also your different projects by teams by using this functionality. And let's say I'm going to create another project. Project example 2. Right? So here's a thought about another way you can use Trello. Let's say you want to put here your project phases. And let's talk about, so we talked about discovery, planning, implementation, and closure. And you can start adding here all the tasks that are part of each of the phases. And this is another way you could use Trello. Like I said, it's just open for your creativity and innovation in the way how you want to use it. And let's go to another example again. Create another one here. Project example 3. And in this project example 3, I'm going to put here for the task for each person. So I'm going to say here, Mauricio, we have here Michael, what he's working on, Michelle, Robbie, and Charlie. And so everyone, this is another way you can use Trello to manage your project. So you can put a board for each one. a group of lists or tasks for each one. So they can add their task here, or you can add it for them. And then when they're finished, you can just move them to done. And you can just tell your teammates, hey, Michelle, when you finish those designs, just move them to done. And they can do that themselves, or you can do it for them. And this is the beauty of it. This is Trello. Like I said, it's really easy to use. It's amazing. And I definitely recommend it as one of the key project management tools which you can use. All right, guys, I'm going to leave you with that one, but I'll talk about some other project management tools which you can use in a moment.